I can't believe people still join these things. You did not make it because you did not follow the simple system. Most people don't take action. That's why they fail. When people don't develop the right mindset, they will not be successful. Very few people are coachable. Only stupid people get involved in this kind of thing. These are some of the things people believe about multi-level marketing. Those who support multi-level marketing blame those who fail because they did not have the right mindset and claim they did not take any action. Others who might be against multi-level marketing believe those who join must not be very bright. Otherwise, they just simply wouldn't join. Both sides cast the blame on the victim. It is all their fault. Is this a fair assertion, and is it true? Hey there, welcome. My name is Alonda Carter and I am the Recovering Hunbot. I create anti-MLM videos, that's anti-multi-level marketing, and I also examine white-collar crime and some true crime. Basically, I like to tell the stories related to scammy things and the people involved. I apologize in advance if the audio or anything about the video is less than stellar. We recently moved. My home office isn't really set up. I don't have the sound canceling foam on the wall, and quite frankly, this room is going to be like the last that's really, going to get any sort of attention, because we are preparing for my husband's two teenage sons to come live with us August 1st. So my focus is on all of that. I'm not on screen because, again, I'm not set up. The lighting is horrible. So hopefully you will still get something out of this video. So please be forgiving about the audio quality and if anything is off. This video covers the results to date of a comprehensive survey which leveraged the questions in the AARP study of multi-level marketing, profiling participants and their experiences in direct sales, which was published in 2018, and the questions published in 2017 in the article Development and Validation of the Psychological Abuse Experienced Group Scale, published in the European Journal of Psychology Applied to Legal Context. In addition, the survey incorporated Stephen Hassan's BITE model to further understand the experiences people have when they join a multi-level marketing company. Although the various companies that use this type of model, such as Beachbody, LuLaRoe, It Works, Kyani, and Nagic, and IM Academy, have a lot of data, as does the Direct Selling Association, consumers are not privy to the robust data, and whatever they do put out is not really easy to understand to determine if joining this so-called business opportunity is a good idea. In my opinion, these companies obscure the data and leave out information so that it becomes confusing. People who join are doing so based on the word of someone they know or an acquaintance they trust. Critics will cry out that the data I am providing is not important because the respondents were self-selected. However, we know most people do not speak out or report their experience out of fear and reprisal. The pre-survey data encompasses background information about the respondents ranging from gender, age, income, and educational level. The MLM background section collected data about how many MLMs people joined, who recruited them, and how long they were a distributor. The next section focuses on finances associated with joining an MLM, including the amount of time people spent on training, personal development, and their various purchases. This is followed by 4 additional sets of questions, each aligned to one aspect of the BITE model, which is behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. After each section, respondents were given an option to continue or to opt out. A special shout out to my friends and Patreon members, AJ and Dave. Both helped me in developing the questions, and Dave created a lot of the visuals you're going to see in this video. My Patreons and channel members are the best. Thank you so much for helping me in my creating video content, and making it less cumbersome. Please do not send any hate to anyone involved in multi-level marketing. Keep it civil in the comment section and be nice to each other and to me. This video is based on my experience, research, and opinion, and all of the data that I collected from the people who opted to complete the survey. Please, as always, do your own research. If you'd like to participate in the survey, there is a link to it in the video description. I am still collecting data, and your opinion, your experience, all of that is most welcome. The more data that we have, the better. In the demographic portion of the survey, I asked which MLM people joined. The top 10, which were mentioned most often, include Beachbody, Amway, Mary Kay, Unique, Young Living, Monat, Rodan & Fields, doTERRA, LuLaRoe, and Jamberry. Other companies were also represented as indicated in the word cloud, which include Plexus, Enagic, Pampered Chef, Syngents, Scentsy, It Works, Arbonne, Cutco or Vector Marketing, Pure Romance, Color Street, Usborne Books, Avon, and Paparazzi. The majority of people who responded to the survey are no longer in MLM. Question 3 asked for the respondents to specify their gender. 212 of the 217 responded in this way. The majority, 91.5%, identified as female, 7.5% as male, 0.5% as transgender, and 0.5% preferred not to say. 212 people responded to question 4, which asked, how old are you? 26.4% are between 18 to 29. 50% are between 30 and 44. 19.3% are between the ages of 45 and 59. And 4.2% are 60 or older. Question 5 asked, while in an MLM, which country were you located in? 200 people responded to this question. The majority, 75%, were in the US, 9% were in Canada, 5.5% in the UK, 3.5% in Australia, 3.5% in the Philippines, and that covers 96.5% of the people who responded, which leaves 3.5% who were in other countries. Question 6 asked, what is your household annual gross income? 212 people responded to this question. 39.6% make under $50,000 annually. Question 7 asked, what is your highest attained level of education? And 212 people responded. Most people are educated beyond high school. 23.6% have taken some college courses. 15.1% attained an associate's degree. 38.7% have an undergraduate degree, and 13.2% hold an advanced degree. To gain an understanding of if people had any association with multi-level marketing throughout their life before joining, question 8 asked for participants to recall if they knew anyone who was a distributor when they were a child. Options given included mother, father, aunt, uncle, cousin, family friend, teacher, and someone they knew through a church or religious organization, and someone in their community. Their survey also allowed people to add in something else, and overall, the majority of people knew a family member or a family friend who was involved in an MLM. It's not unusual for people to join more than one MLM. Some participate in multiple companies at the same time. Of the 212 people who responded, 48.1% were involved in only one MLM. Overall, people are not seeking out MLMs to join. Instead, they are approached by people they know, be it a family member, neighbor, or co-worker. The survey revealed 67.5% were recruited by either a friend or someone they knew on social media. The reasons someone chooses to join an MLM is very important. You often hear MLM companies state that people just like the products and that's why they join. However, the survey revealed 76.9% joined with the intent of making money, whether that was immediate or in the future. This stands in stark contrast to the retort to income disclosure statement concerns that suggest over 80% of distributors are just there for the discount. There are many reasons someone may join an MLM. The survey asked what people's life circumstances were at the time when they first joined MLM. Every single participant fit in one or more of these categories. The survey revealed the top 10 life circumstances were being financially stressed, a stay-at-home parent, working from home and looking for extra money, if they were a student, working a part-time job and looking for extra income, a single parent, were working full-time but wanted a career change, just graduated from college, being recently laid off, and just graduated from high school. Oftentimes, people have experienced some sort of trauma before joining MLM, such as loss of job, spouse or partner, moved, retired, death of a family member or close friend, some sort of financial loss, experienced persistent financial stress, or there was some sort of health issue that they had or someone they knew experienced. 93% identified some aspect of the various vulnerabilities listed. Only 15 people said none of the options applied to them. The top 5 experiences people had 6 to 12 months prior to joining an MLM include experienced persistent financial stress, had a significant amount of debt, had moved, had some sort of serious health problem, and recently had a baby. One thing that MLM does is try to keep people in for as long as possible. That is why I wanted to know how long people stayed involved. I found 95 were in the MLM that they joined for less than a year, and 114 were in the MLM between 1 to 5 years or more. There's a common misconception that smart people can't be scammed in multi-level marketing. Intelligence is not easy to measure, and I believe anyone could fall prey to desires marketed by MLM companies. The data so far paints a different picture based on education levels. When looking at net earnings, there is also no obvious correlation with level of education, which combined with the previous result reveals level of education as proxy for intelligence does not increase earnings or ability to identify the lack thereof. When you join multi-level marketing, you are told you do not need any experience. Much of being part of MLM includes sales and recruitment. If you sell the product or service to someone, you want to get that person to sign up under you, since building a team earns more money than just selling the products or services. Most who joined had no sales experience to little sales experience. 160 or 75.5% had none. 19 or 9% had less than 6 months experience. The amount of time people spend trying to sell the products or services, expand their network, attend meetings or other meetings adds up, and often people do not realize how much time they are spending on these activities. 74 or 36.6% of the 202 respondents said they spent less than 10 hours a week on these activities. There were 109 or 54% who spent 10 to 39 hours on these activities, and 19 or 9.5% spent 40 or more hours. Personal development is a cornerstone of multi-level marketing. 67.8% spent between at least 1 hour to more than 5 hours a week on personal development. 32.2% spent less than 1 hour on it. People often do not take into consideration what their expenses are in addition to whatever product or products they buy consistently to maintain the required volume so they qualify to potentially earn a commission. I asked people to tell me what purchases they made after joining MLM, and here are the top 10 things they bought. 114 or 56.4% said they bought business cards. 106 or 52.5% said sample packaging. 85 or 42.1% bought personal development books. 79 or 39.1% bought tickets to company weekly, monthly, or quarterly meetings. 76 or 37.6% chose recruitment or opportunity brochures. 72 or 35.67% said tickets to the annual company convention. 61 or 30.1% bought courses that were supposed to help create a successful business. 59 or 29.2% bought PicMonkey, Canva, or some other photo editing software. 48 or 23.8% bought plane tickets to attend the company meeting or conferences. 47 or 23.3% bought coaching services. In the next question, I asked, how much money did you spend each month on products or services that you used yourself? The majority, or 95.2% of people who responded, spent money on products or services each month. 10 said that they did not spend money monthly on the products or services. 73 or 36.2% spent between $25 to $99 per month. 95 or 47% spent anywhere from $100 to $299 each month. 12% spent anywhere from $300 to $500 or more each month. When considering profit, I wanted people to think about what they spent before their monthly expenses and after their expenses. Before expenses, nearly a quarter, or 24.8% of all survey respondents made nothing. 54 or 26.7% earned between $1 and $99. 49 or 24.3% earned $100 to $500. That's 51% who earned $1 to $500 before expenses. 28 or 13.8% earned between $500 to $2,999. A total of 14 or 7% earned between $3,000 to $9,999. As for those who had the most profit, only 3 or 1.5% made $10,000 to $24,999. 2 or 1% made $25,000 to $49,999, and just 1 earned between $50,000 to $74,999. Once monthly expenses were taken into consideration, the vast majority, 163 or 80.7%, after considering the amount of time and money they invested, earned $1 to $99. Only one person earned between $25,000 to $49,999. Most who are involved in MLM do not take into consideration the amount of time they spend doing all the things, much less the money they spend on the products, services, or other purchases related to their side hustle. In the end, those who show off how their purple card bought dinner for their family really paid a lot of money to get very little in return. Next, I asked how much people spent on an annual basis on products, services, or other items to make their business work, and this is what I was told. 25 or 12.4% spent less than $100. 39 or 29.2% spent between $100 to $499. 25 or 12.4% spent anywhere from $500 to $999. 59 or 29.2% spent between $1,000 to $4,999. 14 or 6.9% spent between $5,000 to $7,499. 7 or 3.5% spent between $7,500 to $10,000, and 13 or 6.4% spent more than $10,000 to make their business work. Overall, on an annual basis, most people are not receiving any sort of compensation or very little from the MLM. 67 or 33.2% said they never received any income. 53 or 26.2% received something 1 or 2 months annually. This accounts for 59.4% of those who responded to the survey. 39 or 19.3% received something for 3 to 6 months out of the year. 8 or 4% received some compensation between 7 to 10 months. And 35 or 17.3% said they received money from the MLM 11 to 12 months out of the year. The next question asks for participants to think about the time, money, and energy that they invested compared to how much they ultimately earned. How did they make out financially? And this is what I was told. 80.2, which is the vast majority, said that they lost money, meaning they made less than what they spent. 10.4% said they broke even, and 9.4% said they made a profit. Time in the MLM does not seem to have an impact on your odds of making money based on the survey results, contrary once again to the popular belief spread by the DSA without evidence. Although not all MLMs provide income disclosure statements, those that do make the data very difficult to understand. In recent videos where I have talked about specific income disclosure statements, I have provided what it translates to per hour. I have chosen to use only 15 hours a week when I go over this information, but we know people tend to spend far more hours than that. In the US, the minimum wage is $7.25 per hour. Of the 202 respondents, 89.1% or 180 said they earned $0 to less than the $7.25 federal minimum wage. This breaks down to 108 or 53.5% earned $0 per hour, and 72 or 35.6% earned less than minimum wage. 8 or 4% said they earned at least minimum wage of $7.25 per hour. That makes 93.1% of the respondents earning $0 up to $7.25 per hour. I do not think it's very representative of financial freedom. 4 or 2% said they earned $8 to $10 an hour. 3 or 1.5% said they earned $10 to $14.99 per hour. 2 people or 1% said they earned $15 to $19.99 per hour. Another 1% said they earned $20 to $20.99 per hour, and one person said they earned more than $50 an hour. At this point, participants were able to opt out. The data is almost split evenly in terms of if people received a copy of the compensation plan prior to joining. 52.3% or 92 said they did get a copy of the compensation plan, while 47.7% or 84 of the people said they did not get a copy of the compensation plan. The next question I asked is if the compensation plan was explained prior to joining. 88 or 50% indicated the compensation plan was not covered. 52 or 29.5% selected right in the middle, and when you combine the last two, that would be a total of 36 people said the compensation plan was clearly explained. Compensation plans, much like income disclosures, are not easy to interpret. Overall, no matter the company nor the compensation plan, each one is confusing and obscures the reality of anyone's chance to earn money with the so-called opportunity. 59.1% or 104 of those who responded did not feel like they had a clear understanding of the compensation plan, and 35 or 19.9% did feel they had a clear understanding about the compensation plan. Even though income disclosure statements lack a lot of meaningful data, when you examine these documents, it is clear that very few people are making money. I wanted to know if people received a copy of the income disclosure statement before joining. 86.9% responded that they did not receive a copy of an income disclosure statement. Let me break that down for you. 6 or 3.4% chose no, while 85 or 48.3% said although the company has an income disclosure statement, they were not shown one, and 62 or 35.2% said the company does not have an income disclosure statement. Only 23 or 13.1% were given a copy of the company's income disclosure statement. To follow up the income disclosure statement, I asked if they were provided with any independent quantifiable evidence, such as income tax receipts, that showed anyone ever made an overall net income from participating in the MLM. Nearly all were not provided anything. This breaks down to 167 or 94.9% were not shown anything, and only 9 or 5.1% were provided with some independent quantifiable evidence. Next, I asked if people asked to see any evidence. The majority, 155 or 88.1%, did not, while only 21 or 11.8% did ask for evidence. I also wanted to know whether the person who recruited them provided this evidence. 166 or 94.3% said no, and only 10 or 5.7% said yes. I also wanted to know if they were encouraged to seek out financial or legal advice by the person who recruited them, and if they sought this type of advice. Most, 93.8%, were not encouraged to seek out this type of advice. And 158 or 89.8% said they did not seek any independent legal or financial advice before joining the MLM. 133 or 75.6% were not told the number of active distributors before joining. 169 or 96% were not told the number of inactive distributors before joining. 166 or 94.3% were not told the average length of time distributors remained active with the company. 172 or 97.7% were not told the average number of distributors who leave the company annually. 164 or 93.2% were not told on average how many people are able to make a full-time living after joining. In multi-level marketing, there is a lot of emphasis on recognizing people who rank up. So I wanted to know if people were told how many people had achieved the highest rank in their MLM. 147 or 83.5% of people were not told this information, while 29 or 16.5% were told. I also wanted to know if they were told how many people remained at the entry rank and never advanced. 169 or 96% were not told this, and 7 or 4% were told this information. Hitting the first rank is the initial achievement MLMs celebrate. Prior to joining, 162 or 92% were not told this information, while only 14 or 8% were told this information. Just because someone reaches a particular rank within a company does not mean that they keep that rank. I asked people prior to joining if they were told how many people were able to maintain the first rank and never drop rank. 171 or 97.2% were not told this information, while 5 or 3.8% were told this information. Another point I wanted to consider was if people were told how long those at the top had been with the MLM. 143 or 81.3% were not provided this information, and only 33 or 18.8% were. After answering the previous questions, I wanted to know how accurate the people perceived representation of their chance of achieving financial success. 148 or 84.1% did not feel the representation for achieving financial success was very accurate. A total of 9 people or 5.1% were on the other side of the scale and perceived their chances of achieving financial success was accurate. 149 or 84.7% believed they were misled about achieving financial success. Typically, MLM companies provide some sort of plan for success. This generally consists of steps people need to take consistently to have results. So I asked if people were told to follow a success plan by either the person who recruited them or an outside source such as someone else in an MLM, a book, a course, or a seminar. 138 or 78.4% indicated that they were told to follow a plan. 17 or 9.6% said they were not told to follow a plan. One of the mantras you hear when in MLM is that people just don't work hard enough, otherwise they would have success. I asked if whether people were led to believe if they did not have financial success, they just needed to work harder. I used a 5-point scale with 1 being not at all and 5 absolutely. 161 or 91.4% selected 4 or 5, indicating they were led to believe they just needed to work harder. Only 10 or 5.7% were not led to believe they just needed to work harder. At this point in the survey, people had an option to continue. 188 people chose to continue. I asked what was the reason people chose for leaving the MLM. People could select more than one reason. Here are the top reasons people chose for leaving MLM. 141 or 75% selected that they found it awkward to pitch to friends, acquaintances, family members, relatives, and or strangers. 122 or 65.9% selected that they left because they had spent money each month to remain active and did not see financial rewards. 110 or 58.5% selected they started to see MLM as a scam and they did not want to involve their friends in it. 95 or 50.5% did not like having to sell all the time. 94 or 50% said they did not make what they were expecting or were told they would make. 85 or 45.2% said the market was saturated with others selling the product or service. 84 or 47.7% said the commission structure mostly benefited those at the top. 79 or 42% selected that they realized the company was participating in unethical or fraudulent business practices. 59 or 31.4% stopped liking the products, and 54 or 28.7% said they did not receive quality training. The next question asked if people would join the same company again, knowing what they do now. The majority, 181 or 96.3%, would not join MLM again. Then I asked, what about joining a different MLM? 184 or 97.7% said they would not join a different MLM, and only 3 or 1.5% said that they would. One thing I hear often is how MLM impacts friendships. So I asked how being a distributor impacted relationships with close friends and family members. 114 or 60.6% indicated that it was neither very positive or very negative. 66 or 35.1% leaned towards the impact was negative, and only 8 or 4.3% believed that the impact was positive. Wow, I've been recording for about 45 minutes or so, and I've yet to address the responses to the questions aligned to the BITE model. So I think this is a good place to stop for now. And once I edit this down, I am guessing it's going to be around 30 minutes or so. I mean, you guys don't want to hear me ramble on for another 30, 45 minutes, so let's go ahead and just stop here. This means you'll need to come back and hear the responses to the questions related to the BITE model. I promise it's going to be very interesting. So what do you think so far? The results don't seem to indicate being part of an MLM was actually profitable and enjoyable. What a surprise. But what did surprise you the most so far? Did anything change or confirm your beliefs about multi-level marketing? Let me know. If you would like to participate in the survey, there is a link to it in the video description. The more data we have from those who have joined multi-level marketing and share their success, the better. Of course, I would not be surprised if the DSA started telling distributors to flood the survey with positive results, because that is the drum they bang. This is why we need people who left MLM to add their experience to the data. We need to hear more from you. The DSA and all the MLMs already express how amazing the opportunity is, and people's actual experience just does not tell the same story. In fact, the data reveals quite the opposite, which is something the DSA and these MLMs don't want out in the world. They want to keep the reality hidden so they can continue with the same success narrative, which they have been singing for decades. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to come back and check out the second half. Also, remember you're beautiful and I love you.